Good afternoon, anti-novelists, Lilligans, curious onlookers, and friends. Everyone is welcome in the library. I'm so tired of this, but it is yet again 100+ degrees on the cattle ranch in Missouri. So yet again, I'm hiding in the library with you guys because there's really no place I'd rather be. Today, I want to address something that came up in my writing workshop. If you are not a member of LiLLipub, which is our Lilliputian publishing co-op, you need to go join. The link is down below, lillipub.org. Just join us and sign up for the Fusion Writing Group because we meet every Saturday at 1 o'clock. Starting next Saturday, August 11th, 2024, I'm going to put the group up at noon Central Time, which is an hour before we start workshopping, and we're going to do 2 25-minute writing sprints. You can sit and work on your writing projects, you can read, you can just be present and work on something else among good fellowship and camaraderie, whatever you want to do. And then from 1 to 2, we will workshop whatever projects are shared in the shared folder. And then from 2 to 3, I will put the shared space back to the public and anyone can join, and we will do 2 more writing sprints of 25 minutes each. That gives you a total of 4 writing sprints next Saturday. And not only are we doing it next Saturday, we're going to do it for the next 4 Saturdays. Because number 1, I have got to get the Zettelkasten for Fiction, Where Imagination Finds Order book written for you. So I need to have my nose buried and get those words on the page. And I want to hold a space where anyone can join and work on their projects. So come join us next Saturday, noon Central Time. Just join LiLLipub, sign up for Fusion Writing, and you can pop into the group. With all that said, today in the writing group, I got a question about my index. So I just wanted to take a minute and do a recap. This is the very first sheet when I started figuring out how I wanted to set up my Zettelkasten. So I named it my catalog system, and I numbered it with the academic disciplines, numbers 1,000, 2, 3, 4 through 5,000. 6,000 is my quotes, vocabulary, random references and resources, and the 7,000s is where my novel lives. The question that came up in the group was this: how do I organize my information in my index? Kathleen Spracklin, my esteemed colleague and co-teacher, has a very detailed, and I don't want to say overly complex, but I do want to say it is a very detailed system of complex numbering that allows her to go to any item that she needs in her writing environment using her Zettelkasten. That works brilliantly for her. However, for me, there's too much complexity, and I find that is resistance. That's friction. It's a deterrent to my writing because I have to work too hard to find things. So when I set up my system, I knew I had to keep it simple and I had to keep it specific to my fiction project. You have to remember, I'm not reading widely across multiple academic disciplines for the purpose of outputting academic work per se. I'm reading across a set of disciplines in order to inform the novel that I'm writing. So right now my Zettelkasten is fairly focused and specific, so I don't need that broad, complex system to track a whole lot of moving parts because I just don't have those yet. So I departed from the Scott Scheper system in one way. Rather than having a card file of A to Z index cards that serve as my index, I have an 8.5 by 11 happy planner. And what I did is I simply took A to Z tabs, the ones with the nice gold edge because that's nice and sturdy. I hole punched it with my happy planner and I just tabbed those A to Z tabs in. Now you'll notice I don't just have one A tab, I have 2. So I've got plenty of room for expansion on my A index page. The one I want to share with you today is my C index page. If I have a pool or a collection of items, like for example, this one is labeled Conjuring, so it has all sorts of different magical systems, different kinds of approaches to conjuring, different rituals, all that kinds of stuff. Anything that is C for conjuring goes on this card. So I do use cards in some way, but those are for capturing a collection of the same terms. All right. So I have a couple of those in here, you can see. So on my C index page, we'll just pull that out. The second C page, as you can tell, is still blank. I've not added anything onto it yet. But I've divided my C index into two parts. The left margin, the left column, is strictly C words of things that I have investigated or researched. We've got constants in numbers, conjuring, cattle, cryptography, characters, Charlotte, which is one of the characters in my book, castles in European history, the Culper Spy Ring, the City of Fountains, the Clares, Cahokia Mound, Conservatory, Caliphate, CIA, character traits, Kathleen Spracklin, and cross-referencing. So there's a whole collection of C words that are numbered where I can find those items over in my Zettelkasten. But if you look over here on the right-hand side, you're going to notice I also have C words. But anything that's written down the right margin of my index page are specific to book 1 of the novel that I'm writing. So I've got Charlotte, I've got the Conjuring Stitch, I've got Codes and Ciphers, Cowboy Cooking, Calliope, Cody, Chad, and the Chamber for the Protection of Embroidery. And then I have characters, the Conjuring Stitch specific characters information. So in that way, on the right-hand margin, I'm collecting C words, C key terms, keywords that are specific to my novel that allow me to go right to that set of cards and find what I'm looking for. So that's where my index departs from the note card system, because what I learned pretty quickly when I started building out my system is that I need to see all of my environment, or at least as much of it as I can, in one look. That's why I like it all on one page. That piece is critical for me because it allows me to see my whole environment, all of those things at hand, and make decisions about what do I want to write next, what do I need to be researching, and so forth. So if I go over here to M, you'll notice there is a collection card labeled Manuscript Studies. This is a little dark, I apologize. But this has my manuscript studies stuff on it. So I have that one card that collects all of those terms rather than having them willy-nilly all over the page. And then you can see I've got my M terms. Then if I go over here, specifically to my novel world, I've got Madrid, which is Davin Madrid. He's one of my key characters. Mother, the woman my main female character refers to as mother, is Margaret. And Natasha Madrid, which is Davin's sister. So just allows me to pop right over to those character cards, grab what I need, and keep on rolling with the writing. The lesson in today's video is this. Use your Zettelkasten and the cards that you install in it as a way to spur your creativity, to drive inspiration, to drive motivation to get those words on the page and get your writing done, and ultimately to collect things that you may find useful, interesting, or that will contribute to your output later, because the Anti-Net Zettelkasten is an output-based device. It's about creating things, writing that paper you've always wanted to write, finishing that book that you're working on, finishing that novel, what have you. It's about getting the work done. So, however you set up your system, keep an eye towards that self-assessment, Kathleen Spracklin, I'm looking at you, which allows you to look at yourself and be honest about what do I need to work? What helps me work the best? This speaks back to yesterday's video number 21 about plotters versus pantsers versus puzzlers. Once you locate yourself on that continuum, then you can start dialing in the things that help you get the work done. If you need a very highly complex and developed outline in order to have those beats to write to as you're going, then by all means, plot to your heart's content, fill out all of those plot beats, and get that writing done. If, however, you need to free write and keep things loose and creative and fun, then write by the seat of your pants all day long, but get the writing done. So that is the key behind yesterday's video on plotting and pantsing and today's video on creating the index that best works for you so that you can have the ideas, thoughts, and creative inspirations that you need at hand. and then be able ultimately to go pull those cards, lay them out, and get that writing onto the page. Because remember, it won't stay in your head forever. As we learned from one of our co-workshoppers today, just jotting down that quick idea that bubbled up gave her the basis for an amazing story should she decide to pursue it. We were all absolutely intrigued. I'm looking at you, Deb. So get those ideas on the page and allow your index to be one of the key pieces that help you do that. Thank you, as always, for joining me. I appreciate every single subscriber. I'm over 260 now. You guys are amazing, and you're blowing me away. And I am over 22,000 words in the book Zettelkasten for Fiction, Where Imagination Finds Order, which I'm writing for you because I want to bring you on this journey with me and help you get your book written. With that, I will continue on my afternoon. I'm going to do some writing. I'm going to do a little bit of drafting, get this video posted, and then I will wrap for the day. I will see you tomorrow.